They say round the bay that y'all be yearning for a same-game parlay. It's been underutilized. I haven't been blasting parlays, and the more I check in the comments, I see a ton of those flags with the skull with the bones behind it. Y'all be yearning, and y'all be getting. Last weekend, on Sunday, I gave you a plus 800 same-game
parlay. That's the one.
And I know you want more of that, and I'm not just going to dish it out to you because, oh, they want those same game
parlay.
I'm not just giving them because that's what you want. I know you. I mean, you guys are savage animals. You're full cavemen. You will eat anything raw in the middle of the woods. That's what you're desiring when it comes to your sports bet. But I'm only going to give it to you when I think the time is right. I thought Sunday was good for a plus 800. What if I told you I got a
parlay?
I have a sniff on this game or an overall feeling how it's going to go, and that lends itself towards a massive same-game parlay. You know, when I was perusing the comment section, I saw a ton of those flags, those pirate flags, and I also saw you guys are great investigators, and you're going to do more investigating because there's another great bet that I can't find. I've been riddled all week long with hockey bets I couldn't find. Nick Paul, we were on. And then Ivan Barbashev, they didn't offer either of those guys. Now we got the same type of thing for this game. My favorite bet is not offered. So you guys help each other out in the comments section. You were great about it for the NHL picks. If you find this guy, let the others know in the comments section. Also in the comments section, I found out something yesterday. I was asking about states you can gamble it. That are less than 21 plus. I'm like, I think there's one, and you guys let me know, you little investigators, that it's 18 plus in Kentucky, and that's awesome. I didn't know. I remember when I went to Canada when I was 18 plus. That's what you had to do. You wanted to drink, you wanted to gamble. That's nice. Hey, 18. All right, that's what you yearn at the time. The same way y'all be yearning for a same-game parlay, an 18-year-old be yearning for some things north of the border. And that's what we went there for. Apparently in Kentucky, I mean, you're just 18. I'm not advocating, but 18, 19, what a fun thing to do on the weekends to try to make some money and kill some time, unless you have a problem. And if you do, you're going to have to call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. But if you don't have a problem and you're in Kentucky and you're 20 years old, utilize that Bet365 promotion. You deposit 10. I know that could be tough for an 18-year-old, but then just bet 5, and then they will give you $150. It's a great deal available at Bet365, which is available in Kentucky and other states. Make sure you know which states they are. And then all across Canada, where I went when I was 18. Hopefully people are still doing that up in Montreal, having a good time at Casino de Montreal. And I forgot the name of the main street there with all the fun places to go. But we got this game tonight, and I'm going to start with that best bet of mine that I can find, and then we'll work our way over to that plus 1,200 same-game parlay. And the bet that I like is the over on receiving yards or receptions for Jaleel McLaughlin, who's stepped in admirably. I mean, he looks the most explosive of the three backs, and regardless of Javonte Williams' status, because he's been practicing in full, he's worked his way into this rotation. He's been great in the passing game. He's been dynamic in the open field. He scored a touchdown last week on a screen against the Jets, and I just know that they're going to use him. Think about how Sean Payton used his pass-catching backs in New Orleans, the Kamaras of the world. Tons of receptions are going to go their way, especially against the Chiefs team, whose defense has been playing well. It's a great way to slow down pass rush, get a running back in space to try to, create a little bit of a, I don't know, kind of like a chunk play, and they've been getting those from McLaughlin, and I feel like he's going to have a good role regardless of Javonte Williams' status. So I like the over on his receptions and his receiving yards, and you guys can track those down. Sometimes they wait till the day of and the morning of and the afternoon of to actually list those, so we'll wait on that, but that's probably my favorite. And then that will bring us to the parlay. In this game, you just got to think, regardless if they're up or down, this is a 10.5 point spread. Whether they're up, down, whatever, you're going to get an extremely aggressive Denver Broncos team. If they're up by 10, they know they have to keep throwing. That's the beautiful thing. They have a very offensive-minded play caller, which is going to lend itself to some alternate overs on receiving. Now, in that game last weekend, we went with Gabe Davis, Calvin Ridley. two offenses that can push and push and push and continue to throw. Now, this time around, I'm going to go with Jeudy and Courtland Sutton, the two target hogs on this offense. There's still no Greg Dulcich, and then Marvin Mims, he runs like 5 routes per game. The two main options in this offense are Jeudy and Sutton. And they're not that, it's like a 1A, 1B situation. Judy's a little more dynamic, which is exactly why I'm going to take the alternate receiving on Sutton at a higher level, because we're just getting such a great price. 80 yards plus for Courtland Sutton. I'm going 60 plus on Jerry Jeudy. And then I'm going plus 7.5 for the Denver Broncos. Those three together.
And the parlay.
You know, normally when you look at a plus bet, you go, oh my God, how are we going to get that to happen? We're going to need this running back to get 60 receiving yards. But this time, I mean, Courtland Sutton has hit 80 yards so many times. He's a very good receiver. And against the Chiefs, you have to throw. You're going to have to put up points. So whether they're up, down, or whatever, there's going to be an ample amount of opportunities. Same thing with Jerry Jeudy. And we're going to take the 60 on him. I think he's eclipsed 60 the last 2 weeks, something like that. But it's more so because of the opponent. Look at how these teams played each other late in the season last year. I believe Denver had a backdoor cover, and I would take them to do the same thing even outside of this same game. Probably 10.5 points on a short week. It doesn't get any lower, and I know we keep saying that about Denver, but when Zach Wilson and the Jets go in there and beat you in your own building, this is set up for a spot to be a weasel short week cover. And you think about on the other side of the ball, the Chiefs are going to get a hobbling Kelsey, and you can tell me he's going to play, and apparently he practiced. But like I told you before week 1, there's one thing I can tell you doesn't feel good, and that's being a guy in his 30s with any sort of injury. On a short week, he's going to have to play. I would imagine his snaps even being somewhat limited, and his whole route tree is going to be limited, which is why I will co-sign the OddsShopper premium sniff of under 6.5 catches for Travis Kelce. And that is it's a good calculated stiff. I mean, you can win that straight up even if he is healthy, because he hasn't been playing all that great this year. He hasn't eclipsed 100 yards once all season. Now, you can make the argument he's just going to run a bunch of short routes and get a couple of receptions. There are just so many options on that team. None of them great, but I could see the ball being spread around in a dinky donuts fashion. Why are you going to make Travis Kelce shoulder a burden of the load on a night where you're double-digit favorites? That just doesn't seem smart to me if you're the Chiefs thinking long-term. So I think that under 6.5 is definitely a good bet. They also like the under 3.5 for Kadarius Toney, and I can't say I hate it. The one thing I will say is many of his catches are right behind the line of scrimmage, so it's scary when you know you're getting a free catch. But they have so many guys drawing a few targets. Every game, you get 4 targets for Sky Moore, 4 for Toney, 4 for Valdez-Scantling, 8 for Kelce, 2 for Pacheco, 4 for McKinnon. There are so many to go around. It's hard to hit 4 catches because this isn't an offense with Tyreek Hill or even Juju Smith-Schuster. They're sprinkling it all over the board, and the Denver Broncos are absolutely awful against the run. The funny thing about this game is if they just played it like the Jets and Patrick Mahomes just decided, I'm handing it off 40 times, 25 are going to Pacheco, another 12 are going to go to Edwards-Helaire, and then a few more to McKinnon. They're going to win the game comfortably. But there's something about when you have a franchise quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks in the league, they just go, no, I need mine too, and they throw the ball more than they need to win a game. And I actually think that helps the Broncos. I think throwing the ball more than necessary against this Broncos team actually helps them cover and stay in the game. Because I feel like if they just murder the clock, ran the ball, they'd comfortably get first downs, and that's going to be the end of the game. That just doesn't seem like it's Mahomes and Andy Reid's way. So I'm going to take a backdoor cover or just a straight up cover, 10.5 points, Denver Broncos. And obviously, if I'm feeling good about those receiving totals on those players for Denver, their main 2 options, then I also like the over on longest completion for Russell Wilson. He's always been a pretty good thrower of the long ball, and every single time Marvin Mims gets on the field, he's just running a vertical and catching it every single time. So I do like that. In a game they're going to potentially be trailing in, the over on the longest completion for Russell Wilson. It's a pretty good variety of bets. I kind of like the feeling that I have on this one. A little assistance from OddsShopper Premium. Good Monday night. Let's make it a good Thursday night. Hopefully, I got a suspicion this game is going to be more entertaining than most of you guys think. We will find out. Until then, good luck to you. Yes, still better luck to me. Make sure you're subscribed here to the OddsShopper channel if you want to catch my videos, not just for hockey, not just for football, but also Francis and Friends, which we got coming up Friday afternoon. So make sure you check that out. I can talk anything. I'll talk UFC. I'll talk about Paulo Costa potentially being replaced. I'll talk about how Alexander Volkanovski stepped in for the main event. I'll talk about anything. Who knows? Just like Beetlejuice, I'll do anything. I'll scare them real good for you. So I will see you guys then, hopefully. Make sure you're following my social media accounts, just like you see on the bottom left portion of your screen. Always happy to make these videos for you guys, really trying to make the most of them and enjoy them while I'm doing them. I will see you guys for the next one. Take it easy.